Hey, what up everyone, this is the NYXI Master P1 games controller from NYXI. It's a bit of a new brand to me, I've never heard of them before, but they reached out and I'm going to be doing a written review of this controller on NeoWin, but I thought I'd do a video review as I do with most of my reviews and just give a rundown of what I found on day one and general observations, that sort of thing. I am comparing it to the Tarantula Pro. Now that is in shipping at the moment, it hasn't arrived yet, so I'll be comparing directly to that. I also have another controller which is 1000 Hz wireless over 2.4 gig and wide. This is only 1000 Hz over wide and around 250 Hz over 2.4 gig wireless, and it does have Bluetooth as well. Although I haven't tested on Bluetooth, but I'm assuming it's going to be about 125 to 160 Hz. I also have the PVTail's Crush Defender. Now this is the TMR sticks on here, and I have done a review of this already. I'll link it in the description below, and I've got a video up of this controller as well. So this is my go-to controller at the moment, but I have a feeling that the Tarantula Pro, also TMR sticks, is going to be taking over that role, purely because it's symmetrical sticks, and I quite like that. And the D-pad is mechanical switches as well, which is very similar to here. So the P1 has a mechanical D-pad and it has a central rocker as well, so you can rock it about, and hitting diagonals instantly is very easy. All the moves are easy as well, so Street Fighter for example, doing the uppercut, it's really easy just to go like that and you hit it every time, which is really good. The Hall Effect sticks, I don't know what sticks they are underneath, I haven't taken it apart yet, but they feel very similar to my EasySMX X05 in terms of spring, tension and performance, and the circularity is very similar as well. So this circularity, I'll show the gamepad tester in a moment, but it registers 0.0%, so it is filtered circles, but the circles are very responsive, so it doesn't have that latency that the X10 EasySMX had and some other Hall Effect controllers have that I've had before. So this is very responsive, very nice, and it feels natural as well compared to other Hall Effect sticks. The other face buttons, these are clicky micro switches, and you've got the mute button here as well as volume control up and down here as well. So this works over wireless and wide when connected to Windows. So that will control the volume and mute and so on as well. I'll turn it on in a second. The D-pad ABXY buttons, are membrane tactile, so they are very clicky, but short throw. So they feel very good. Again, these feel very similar, if not exactly the same as the EasySMX X05, and the X05 is one of my favorite controllers currently out that uses Hall Effect sticks, purely because it's around £20, and for the price, can't really beat it really. Performance is excellent, feels amazing as well for 20 quid. But the only thing it lacks is various additional features which the P1 does have. The P1 comes in at about £38 UK price, but for that extra money you do get some additional features. As I said, you've got mechanical D-pad, mechanical accessory buttons, same tactile ABXY, you've got a mechanical clicky shoulder button on both sides, and it's a little more resistance to press up here compared to down here, but it feels more or less the same, so it's not really too much extra, it's just a little bit more. You also have Hall Effect triggers. Now these have lockouts, so it's a two-stage lockout, or one stage, sorry, it's either on or off. So I just go on, and now we have a mouse clicky switch. I believe these are KLH switches, or KL switches, and there's very little travel on that as well, so it's a short throw trigger and it's instant on and off, so it's a mechanical lockout for that, which is pretty cool, unlike some other controllers which use a software lockout. And then we're back to analog, and it's well damped, so right as I get to the end, if I bottom out, you can tell that it's not plastic on plastic, there is some contact surface there which dampens it, which is nice to see. And we've also got the paddle buttons as well, M1 and M2, and these can also be locked out. So if I lock this one out, there's no play in it whatsoever, which is quite cool. So there's I can press it as hard as I want, it's not going to go anywhere. So it's a physical, again, a physical lockout, not just some tab inside there. It properly locks it out, which is quite cool. And then you've got a toggle switch for switch mode, Bluetooth and wireless. To get into wired mode, you just turn it off and then plug in the wire, and that's it. It will automatically turn on and start charging whilst you use it as wired. And the LED here will dictate what it's doing. So a red blinking LED will tell you it's charging, and when it's charged, the red LED will go out. Otherwise, when it's connected, it will be a green LED to denote mute is on, and the light goes out when mute is off. So that's the only function this button has, as well as the volume buttons down here. And to show you the dongle, so the P1's dongle is rather large compared to the PB-Tails one. So you can tell it's kind of translucent, but you can tell how big the circuitry is in there. So it's obviously quite a bit larger. And as I say, it's supposed to be 250 Hertz, but I've been averaging about 180, 170 Hertz, something like that, over 2.4 gig. And it's supposed to be 1000 Hertz over wide, but I've been getting around about 500 Hertz. So it doesn't really matter too much. The performance is still very good. There's very low latency and things from what I've tested. So I'm just going to plug this in. There's no LED on here as well. Oh, there is. I didn't notice that before. So just plug in the dongle. And the connection speed is very quick, so just press it once and that's it, that's connected. So if I just test it quick, it loads up Steam. So what I'm going to do is load up Gamepad Tester and show you what the circularity and everything's like. So if I just move the stick a tiny amount, if there is a dead zone on here, it's very, very small. It's small enough to not be an issue at all. As you can see there, I'm just moving a tiny amount and it's registering, and that's the same on both sticks as well. Bounce back, there's no bounce back because it is being filtered. And if I turn on circularity, and you can see that both sticks .0, so there's a lot of filtering going on there, but as I say, it's very responsive and it feels really good as well to use. The game that I use most often to test responsiveness is Breath of the Wild on Wii U, and currently I'm using it via emulation because it's just higher frame rates and everything on there and looks nicer on 4K, but the performance is excellent through here. So it's very, very similar to the PB-Tails Crush TMR sticks, and almost exactly the same in feel and responsiveness as the EasySMX X05. Blow the dust off. And it does have RGB, so to change the RGB setting, you hold down the set button here and then left stick in for 3 seconds. I didn't do that right. There we go. And to change the RGB colors, it's just hold down set and then left and right on the stick. So moving it right cycles between pulsing LED colors, moving it left cycles between static and pulsing LED colors. And then moving the stick up and down changes the brightness when it's on a static color. And then to turn it off again, it's just hold the stick in and set for 3 seconds. And it's off. To change the vibration, it's hold set and D-pad up and down. And the vibration, I have to say on this, very strong. It's about the same, if not stronger, than the X05's vibration motors, and I really liked those, so this is very nice to see. And the haptic feedback and so on is very good as well on this, so yeah, very impressed so far. And I'll just show you the mute. So on Windows, press it, and then Windows mute, and then obviously you can do volume up and down as well. Let's bring that back up. So yeah, that's the Master P1 from NYXI. It didn't come with the phone holder on the top there, but you can obviously get a phone holder or a tablet holder or something that I'm assuming NYXI do or will sell. I haven't seen it on their website, maybe I've missed it. But the construction quality, very similar to the XO5. There's no flex when gripping it tight or twisting it or trying to twist it. The matte finish is very nice. If I do a close-up of that as well, everything is matte finished. And this surface here is a rubbery texture, so it's only on the top of the grips, not on the bottom, but it is textured on the bottom and on the sides as well. But as I say, only the top of the grip is textured in rubber, so it's like a rubbery surface, and that does actually help. It's just exactly where the palm sits, so it sits there nice and it feels comfortable as well. There are anti-friction rings on both sticks, which is nice to see at this price especially, and the spring tension, as I said, is very good as well. So all in all, very nice controller, and I'm going to fire up Joystick Tester now just so I can show you some more granular testing or measurements from that. So I've just fired up Joystick Tester and I'm going to select controller, and we've got left stick selected at the moment. So we're just going to move it to get it registered. And you can see there 122 Hertz. But nominal is about 160. There we go, so it's going up now. And the stick stop resolution is very good as well. So again, that's the circularity filtering going on there. But yeah, it's very good. So if I do the trails and do a bounce back test, and the smoothness of the stick, I'm doing this with one hand, so excuse me, but you can make it straight, but the spring tension does bounce it back a little bit as well. But yeah, it's very good, no problems with that at all. And lastly, if I just do a Gamepad LA, which is the latest version, so we'll do one, and we'll do the left stick again. And here we go. So this is probably going to register about 165 Hertz or 160 Hertz. .25 Hertz. That's 107% stability. So 133 average. Yeah, so it's very good for a Hall effect stick at 2.4 gig, around about 150 Hertz average. Maximum latency is obviously, you kind of expect that for this polling rate and Hall effect sticks as well. And the average jitter is slightly higher than the XO2. I believe that was about 2 milliseconds, sorry. But it's still very good. As I say, it feels in practice very similar, if not exactly the same as the XO5. But yeah, this is the NYXI Master P1, and as I say, for the price, very good quality, performance, and no problems at all really for this price. So as long as it doesn't start creaking in about a month like the 8-Bit Do Ultimate did for me, then that'll be great. But from what I can tell so far, it feels just like the XO5 in terms of rigidity and the quality of the plastics used, just in a different aesthetic. So I can't see this becoming creaky over time. There's no signs on here saying that it's going to do that. Yeah, so it's a 600 milliampere battery. They predict, or they spec, about 8 to 10 hours of playtime. It's about normal. It takes about 2 hours to charge as well over USB-C. So yeah, that's the NYXI Master P1.